The cheapest way to feel like you have a brand new kitchen is not a renovation. It's about $40 and one trip to the Dollar Tree, and I mean that. The single fastest way to make a tired, cluttered kitchen feel calm and new again is not new cabinets, not new counters, not any of the things that cost what a used car costs. It's a handful of matching bins and a few clever little organizers, and right now Dollar Tree has just put out a fresh wave of them that genuinely rivals what the fancy container stores charge 10 times as much for. I spent 31 years in the grocery and retail trade, 9 of them running a store, so I know exactly what a plastic bin costs to make and exactly how much the expensive stores mark it up. And I'm telling you, on storage and organizers, that markup is almost the whole price. The bin itself is pennies. So let me walk you through 23 of the new bins, kitchen gadgets, and storage pieces Dollar Tree has right now that are worth grabbing before they're gone, because the good ones do sell out. One idea to carry the whole way through. The reason these are such a deal isn't that they're cheap junk. A plastic bin is the same molded plastic whether it costs $1 and a quarter or $12. What you pay extra for at the fancy store is the label. So when I point you at a matching set of bins for $1.50 a piece, understand you're getting the identical usefulness for 1/10 of the price, and the only thing you're giving up is a fancier sticker nobody but you will ever see. Let me start with the bins, because matching bins are the real magic, and here's why. A messy cabinet full of mismatched boxes and bags looks like chaos. Take those exact same things and put them in matching bins, and suddenly it looks organized, even though you didn't get rid of a single thing. That's the whole trick, and it costs almost nothing. 1. The Essentials rectangular multi-purpose bins. These are the workhorses. About 8 by 11 inches, $1.25, with wide white handles you can actually write a label on. They fit almost any shelf, and there's no space in your house these can't organize. Buy a stack of the same one and watch a cabinet go from a jumble to something that looks like a magazine picture. 2. The Storage Essentials clear fridge clip-on basket. $1.50, and it clips right onto a fridge shelf to make an extra little drawer where there wasn't one. One shopper said she bought it and was so happy she went back for more, and that's the tell. When people go back for a second one, it's a real find. 3. The Essentials clear slide-out fridge bin. $1.50, clear plastic with a handle on the front, so you grab it and slide it out like a drawer. Slim and shallow, perfect for the yogurts, the cheese sticks, the little packaged things that get lost in the back of the fridge and go bad forgotten by several. This is the one that makes your refrigerator make sense. 4. The soda can organizers. These use a gravity feed, so the cans roll forward as you take one, like at the store. But here's the smarter use folks have found. They work just as well for cartons of sour cream, bags of shredded cheese, or packs of bacon. $1.25 to stop the fridge avalanche. 5. The 6-cube fabric organizer set. 6 storage cubes, $1.50 for the set, which is a genuinely surprising amount of storage for the money. Folded clothes, books, craft supplies, anything. It's the cheapest way I know to bring order to an empty closet corner or a shelf that's become a dumping ground. 6. The 5-gallon bin with the snap lock lid. Before you pay hardware store money for a big storage tote, look at this one. A durable snap lock lid that keeps out dust and damp, good for documents, keepsakes, seasonal things, all the stuff you box up and stack in a closet. A fraction of what the same bin costs 2 aisles over at a hardware store. 7, the stackable pastel bins. The new pastel storage bins that stack cleanly so you build up instead of out, which is exactly what you want in a cabinet or a pantry with more height than width. Matching, stackable, $1.25. That's the formula for a tidy pantry. for under $10. That's 7, and the single best organizer in the whole store is coming up in the kitchen section, so stay with me for it. Now the kitchen gadgets, because this is where Dollar Tree quietly punches way above its price. 8, the Jot Flexible Drawer Organizer. This is a gem, $1.25. It's about 6 inches long, but slides out a few more inches to fit your exact drawer, and it's narrow enough for tight spaces. This is the answer to the junk drawer, the one full of peelers and measuring spoons and gadgets with no home. Slide it to length, drop it in, and the chaos becomes calm. Buy a few, 1 per drawer. 9, the glass jars with stainless steel lids, $1.50 a piece, and they look far more expensive than that. Pour your flour, your sugar, your coffee, your dried goods into these, and 2 things happen. The kitchen looks like a set, and the tight metal lid keeps everything fresher longer than the bag it came in. A matching row of these on the counter is the cheapest kitchen upgrade there is. 10, the Cooking Concepts wire napkin holders, $1.25, sold as a napkin holder. But the smart folks buy 4 and zip tie them together into a rack that holds cutting boards, pot lids, plates, all the awkward flat things that fall over in a cabinet, even on its own. One of these tames the loose container lids that never stack right. 11, the 3-tier spice rack, $1.50, and it steps your spice jars up so you can actually read the labels instead of digging through a flat drawer, knocking bottles over. At our age, being able to see the label without hunting is worth more than the $1.50 by itself. 12, the plastic Lazy Susans, $1.25, and these are surprisingly sturdy. Put one in a deep cabinet or the corner of the fridge and spin it instead of reaching blind into the back. For anyone whose shoulders don't reach the way they used to, a Lazy Susan brings the back of the shelf to you. That's not a small thing. 13, the cabinet shelf riser, a little shelf that doubles your vertical cabinet space, so you stack plates below and bowls above instead of one precarious tower. $1.25 to turn one cramped shelf into 2 usable ones. 14, the egg storage containers, new this season, a covered container that keeps eggs neat and separate in the fridge, and folks also use them for hard-boiled eggs so they don't get mixed up with the fresh ones. $1.25, and it's the kind of small, tidy thing that makes the whole fridge feel handled. 15, the gold chargers. These are the large decorative plates you set a dinner plate on top of, and the name brand ones run real money. Dollar Tree has them for $1.25. For a Sunday dinner or a holiday table, a set of these makes the whole table look like you fussed for a few dollars total. Let me stop here and give you the one rule that keeps a storage haul from turning into more clutter than you started with, because this is the trap of organizing, and I've watched people fall in it. Here's the trap. Buying bins feels like organizing. It isn't. It's the fun part, and it tricks you into thinking you did the work. But a bin is not organization. It's a container waiting for a decision. And if you buy 15 bins and bring them home and fill them with the same junk you already had too much of, all you've done is put your clutter in nicer boxes and spent $40 doing it. So here's the rule. Before you buy a single bin, know what's going in it, not vaguely exactly. This bin is for the fridge yogurts. That one's for the junk drawer gadgets. These 3 are for the pantry cans. If you can't say out loud what goes in the bin, don't buy the bin yet, because an empty bin with no job just becomes one more thing sitting on a shelf. The bin is the last step of organizing, not the first. Do the deciding first, then buy exactly the bins that plan calls for. Do it that way, and every $1.25 earns its place. Now back to the finds. 16, the 4-compartment rotating organizer, about $7. A Lazy Susan with 4 big compartments and a spot in the middle for small things, sold for the bathroom, but it's a workhorse anywhere, first aid supplies, cooking gadgets, medications, craft bits, one spin and everything's in reach. For those of us managing a lot of little bottles and tubes, this is a genuine help. 17, the cotton rope basket 6-pack. $5 for 6, which is less than some single baskets cost online. They give open shelving a soft, tidy, textured look instead of bare clutter, and because they're on the smaller side, they tuck in anywhere, a bathroom shelf, a nightstand, a kitchen counter. 18. The Jot Clear zipper pouches rated 4.5 stars by reviewers for taming the tiniest stuff. Buttons, bobby pins, sewing notions, the little things that scatter to the bottom of every drawer. Clear so you see what's inside without opening it. A few of these end the war with the small stuff for good. 19, the self-adhesive hook and loop fasteners. Tool bench hardware, $1.25. Here's the clever bit. You stick these on the bottom of your bins and on the shelf, and now the bins don't slide around every time you open the cabinet or the fridge. Pull them loose to clean, press them back. It's the little fix that makes all the other bins actually stay put. 20, the wire step storage rack, $1.25, meant as a little riser, but push the legs in and it tilts. And now your spice bottles or vitamin bottles are angled so you can read every one at a glance, set it right on the shelf, or drop it inside a bin so it doesn't wander. A tiny thing that solves the which bottle is this hunt. 21. The acrylic wine bottle holders, $1.25, sold for wine, but the hack everybody loves is using them to stack water bottles in the fridge so they don't roll around, or to store cans, or to corral anything cylindrical. Cheap, clear, and endlessly useful. 22. The gold frame chalkboard, $1.25, equal parts pretty and practical. Prop it in the kitchen for the grocery list so you jot things as you run out, or label a buffet when company comes. A small thing that keeps you from forgetting what you needed by the time you get to the store. And 23, the one I'd send you in for above all the rest. The clear stackable food storage containers, the set. Here's why this is the one. Of everything on this list, the decor is nice and the gadgets are handy, but clear food containers do the one thing that actually saves you money week after week. They let you see your food, so you eat it before it goes bad instead of finding it fuzzy in the back of the cabinet. $1.25 to $1.50 a piece, clear, stackable, with lids that seal. You pour the crackers, the rice, the pasta, the flour into them, and now you can see exactly what you have and how much is left. No more buying a thing you already had 2 of. No more throwing out the forgotten bag gone stale. Of the whole 23, this is the one that pays for itself over and over, because seeing your food is how you stop wasting it. Buy the set, buy extras. It's the best $1.25 in the store. Let me tell you how a smart trip goes, because it's the whole thing in one visit. You don't wander. You walk in already knowing what you're organizing, the fridge or the junk drawer or the pantry, one job, not the whole house at once. You go to the storage aisle and you buy the matching bins for that one job, plus the couple of gadgets that fit it, the fridge slide-out bins and the can organizer if it's the fridge, the flexible drawer organizer if it's the drawer. You buy a stack of the same bin, not one of each, because matching is what makes it look organized. And you buy the clear food containers always, because those save you money every single week, and you leave the rest. The cute bin that doesn't have a job yet, the gadget you can't say a use for. You ask the one honest question, do I know exactly what goes in this? And if the answer is no, it stays on the shelf. You walk out having spent $15 or $20, and that one cabinet or that one drawer is transformed, and every bin in the bag has a job waiting for it at home. Then next month you do the next zone. That's how you organize a whole house for pocket change without drowning in empty bins. So here's what I'd have you do this week. Pick one spot, just one, the fridge, a drawer, the pantry, whatever bothers you most. Go to Dollar Tree and buy the matching bins for that one spot, plus a set of the clear food containers, because those always earn their keep. Don't buy for the whole house. buy for the one zone you'll actually finish this weekend. And run every bin through the one question, do I know exactly what goes in this? If yes, buy it. If no, leave it, because an empty bin with no plan is just clutter that cost you $1.25. Now, I'd like to hear from you, because you'll know tricks I don't. Tell me the best Dollar Tree organizing find you've ever put to work, the little bin or gadget that fixed a spot in your house that had bothered you for years. I read every one of these, and I promise some of them will send me back to the store to try it myself. And tell me this too, honestly. Have you ever bought a pile of bins, brought them home, and realized a month later they were still empty, or worse, full of junk you should have thrown out? Because that's the trap I most want to save you from, and I'd like to know how many of us have learned that lesson the $40 way. Pick one zone, buy matching bins with a job waiting, and always grab the clear containers so you can see your food.